Have you ever wondered why Satan was so desperate for Moses' body after his death? This is not a simple question, nor an ordinary tale. Why would a celestial being become so obsessed with a mortal body? What was so special about Moses that justified a heavenly battle? If you think this sounds strange or unsettling, brace yourself, because what we'll explore today has profound implications for humanity's history, spiritual warfare, and divine purposes. To begin, we need to remember who Moses was. He wasn't just any man. Moses was the liberator of Israel, the one God used to confront the mighty Pharaoh and bring freedom to the enslaved in Egypt. He was the man who spoke with God face to face, as a friend speaks to another. The intermediary who ascended Mount Sinai to receive the Ten Commandments. And yet, despite all these impressive achievements, Moses was also human, subject to flaws and mistakes. Now, imagine the scene. Moses stands at the edge of the Promised Land, but he cannot enter. He had made a grave mistake. When God asked him to speak to the rock so water would flow from it, Moses, frustrated with the people, struck the rock with his staff. In that moment, he not only disobeyed God, but also claimed part of the glory for himself, saying, "Must we bring water for you out of this rock?" Numbers 20:10. This misstep cost him dearly. In his justice, God declared that Moses would not enter the Promised Land, and then he died. In Deuteronomy 34, 5-6, we read, "So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab according to the word of the Lord, and he buried him in a valley in the land of Moab, but no one knows his grave to this day." Here, we find something incredibly rare. God himself buried Moses. But why? Why keep Moses' grave a secret? The answer leads us to a heavenly dispute narrated in Jude 9, where the archangel Michael confronts Satan over Moses' body. A battle as mysterious as it is intriguing. Satan wanted that body, but what did he intend to do with it? One of the most likely theories is that Satan planned to turn Moses' body into an object of idolatry. Think of the golden calf in Exodus 32. The people of Israel had a dangerous tendency toward idolatry. If Satan had exposed Moses' body, perhaps he could have convinced the people to venerate it as a relic, diverting their worship away from God. Another possibility is even deeper. Satan may have tried to prevent Moses from being resurrected or glorified. Remember, in Matthew 17, Moses appears alongside Elijah on the Mount of Transfiguration, speaking with Jesus. This event is clear proof that Moses holds a special place in God's redemptive plan. Satan, as a cunning adversary, might have attempted to thwart this plan somehow. And then there's Satan's role as the accuser. In Revelation 12:10, he is described as the one who accuses God's children day and night. Moses had a history of sins, including the murder of an Egyptian and the breaking of the tablets of the law. Satan could have used these sins as arguments to condemn him, attempting to disqualify him before God. But what makes this story even more powerful is how it ends. In the confrontation with Satan, the archangel Michael didn't argue or rely on his own authority. He simply said, "The Lord rebuke you." Jude 1:19. This statement is a reminder that power belongs to God, not to us. No matter how cunning or powerful Satan may seem, he cannot prevail against God's will. The battle for Moses' body is not just a curious story. It carries profound lessons for us today. First, it's a warning against idolatry. Even now, it's easy to place people, objects, or ideas in God's place. Second, it's a reminder that God is sovereign, even when the enemy seems to have the upper hand. And third, it's proof of God's love and grace. Despite Moses' flaws, God honored and protected him. This story also challenges us to reflect on where we place our faith. Do you fully trust God, even when things seem uncertain? When we face battles, whether spiritual or emotional, we can remember that just as God intervened for Moses, He also intervenes for us. What are you willing to entrust to God today? In the end, the battle for Moses' body is a reminder that God's plan is greater than any opposition. Satan tried but failed. God, in His infinite wisdom, protected Moses not only in life but also in death. This is the hope we carry, a God who never abandons us even when all seems lost, and that's a story worth sharing.